This is Signal and Noise, bringing clarity to data, tech, and AI.
Hi, this is Rio Longacre here, Signal and Noise, and we're at Possible event in Miami, and this is the end of day one. It's been a great day. We've had lots of great discussions about everything from, of course, AI, supply path optimization, attribution, targeting, measurement, you name it. To wrap up our day here, I've got a special guest, MK Marsden, and you are the CEO of Sales-Sleuth, but you have a long and distinguished career in advertising and marketing that includes senior roles at lots of different companies, including Axiom, Epsilon. I could rattle a bunch of names, but it's a cool career. I think we could probably touch on that a little bit, but love to first start out by maybe telling the audience a little bit about yourself and your current role as CEO of Sales-Sleuth.
Okay, great. First of all, thank you for having me tonight. I appreciate this.
And by the way, shout out to Mark Sabatini for introducing us.
Yeah. And that's all part of it, right? How you treat your network, trust that you build over decades and that you continue to build on.
Totally.
That's a big part of what we're doing right now at Sales-Sleuth. But yeah, I'm a computer scientist by accident. I wanted to be a vet. That didn't work, so I went into computers. And I started in IT software. So one of the companies that I was involved with was Nobel. We went from zero to $1.82 billion in 7 years. And I thought this was magical. And I believed that computers were going to make the world a better place and everything was going to be automated. I grew up on the Jetsons. It was going to be fantastic. So I got tired of IT software and I was like, how do people use all these tools we're creating? So I went into MarTech. And there,
more exciting than IT software.
well, yes and no, they're different, right? Like it's a different problem that you're solving. So I created transactional email. I was like, oh my God, we're in marketing and everybody's order confirm and shipping confirm is in courier text and is ugly and it's opened. Everybody opens it all the time. So let's invent that. And now what I'm looking at is just B2B sales is a mess. And post-COVID, we've lost procurement. You got 22 people involved in every buy decision.
To thank for creating procurement.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Yeah, whoever thought we'd want procurement, right? It's just we can go back to our politics from last night too and talk about things we didn't think we would want that we got. But so now you've got 22 people involved in purchasing enterprise software or enterprise solutions. They don't even know how they buy as a company. And here are the poor sales reps with no proper insights. There's nothing in Salesforce. There's the lies we tell the finance department so that we don't get in trouble and we might get our commission check. So there's no intelligence. Tagging pages and putting predictive analytics, that's not intelligence, that's tagging. So I was sitting around doing it the old-fashioned way, and I was like, no, there's got to be a better answer. So we decided to build the first buyer-centered sales intelligence solution for enterprise. And selling to salespeople is fantastic.
It's interesting. I think that like you're looking at within MarTech and ad tech, and I think you could add sales tech, service tech, right? And these are distinct. I don't think they get enough coverage, to be honest with you. And I think especially sales tech, I mean, like, because you think like, what is considered sales tech? Like CRM kind of is, right?
Yep.
Could also put like tools like Sixth Sense, like lead management, things like that, sales automation. But it's an area that is huge. That's like, I think underappreciated.
I would agree. And one of the things I thought I would go raise a round of funding. VCs have no interest in sales productivity. So think about that.
Why is that, do you think?
Got me, right? Like you're investing in a company. Wouldn't you want them to be able to sell their solution? Like, wouldn't sales be the first thing?
Like how you ship software, right?
I know. So isn't it the most interesting thing that we've never provided salespeople with the actual intelligence they need to do their function? And they're the most critical function to the growth of your business.
I totally agree. Interesting too. You think about it, like the best salespeople are so much more productive and better than the rest of the salespeople. And like, I mean, having worked with lots of salespeople in my career, like if a salesperson's amazing, you'll put up with a lot, right?
Yep.
I mean, because they're so good, they're so effective. So like, what do you think? In my understanding, a lot of the sales tech tools, okay, let's find out what these best people are doing. Let's give them tools, processes, and solutions that can help the rest of the salespeople be closer to that. Is like, do you look at it that way maybe, or?
So I look at when we created digital marketing, we created a landscape where we could see what buyers were consuming across the entire internet. And what we hadn't created yet was a reader to read all of that. And with the large language getting so good, I mean, think about it, large language module. They're great at reading content.
A lot of content very quickly, sure, yeah.
Right? So we read everything about the seller's account, like everything, their SEC report, their Edgar report, what's said on Reddit, what's on Capterra, what's on G2, what's in Quora, everything. And then what we do that other people won't do and a software engineer would never figure out is we score it against what the seller sells. And that's where my 40 years of sales expertise combined with my computer science work comes in. So why do we not have sales tools? Software engineers know nothing about sales.
No disagreement. They don't, right?
Right? And so it took a salesperson to stop and crush my brain for 18 months and get the help of people like you and Sabatini. And it took large language modules to get out of the sausage factory of first party data and third party data to be able to, like, CEOs are publishing their mobile phone numbers in DMs that are in public domain.
I've seen this more and more. I think it's a really interesting development. I'm seeing CEOs put their numbers, put their emails, and I'm imagining people reach out to them, right? I mean, they must be.
No, people like miss it. It's like his phone number is in his signature line. What do you mean you haven't called him? Like, what is wrong?
So like it's published, but like the salesperson said, I have no idea, no way to get hold of it. That's why,
right? Because it's like they can't imagine it. It's like it's right there.
He put it on his LinkedIn profile.
Exactly.
Which apparently didn't go to, right?
Exactly. And partially it's because you're managing a book of business that's 20, 30, 40 accounts. You're spending 20 hours a week updating Salesforce, attending training, doing QBRs, doing RFPs that you're never going to win, that are cut and paste from the last RFP that didn't win. So you're spending all this time doing these things that aren't even material to your selling function.
I remember at a large consulting firm I worked at, we RFPs were like, when you're on the bench, you would do RFP.
Yeah.
You respond to RFPs. And I remember the success rate was under 10%. It was just like a death march. You would do these like 150-page responses. Like I remember, like, I'm not exaggerating, staying up all night to do these damn things. This is when a junior consultant, and then knowing that like there was zero chance you could have win it. It was totally demoralizing.
And you're giving away all your IP. You're giving away your pricing. You're giving away all your IP for nothing. You're getting nothing in return. In every RFP I've ever written, in any company I've ever led, I've offered $100 in the RFP response. If you read this far, call me. I'll give you $100. I have never paid it. Never once. And I've done thousands.
So you put at the end of the RFP response? Okay.
Like in the privacy part or governance or something, that they're just like never going to read, and they don't. And you're like, it's all insane theater.
It's theater. That's what it is. It's sales theater, I guess you would say it is, right? It's like, we're going to pretend that we want this, and you're going to pretend that you care about making it.
And you're going to pretend it matters, and I'm going to pretend that.
We're going to pretend we read it, right? Yeah. And then we're going to award it to McKinsey anyway.
Yeah, because no one gets fired for that.
Because the CEO is former McKinsey and he's best buddies with the partner. I mean, that's just
he just played golf with them. It's on his Facebook page. We could tell you that.
Or like, that's a lot of software sells too, right? It's like, because a salesperson went golfing, or his kid goes to school with the CEO's daughter or something like that, right?
Totally. So it is about relationships. But if you don't know what their problem is, like imagine starting a relationship where you ask no questions of the other person. It's kind of like dating in 2026, right? Like it's bad. It doesn't lead to anything.
The consensus seems to be it's bad, right?
It's bad. Rest assured. How can you build anything? So if you're not doing discovery, if you don't have a good sense of what their business problem is, how they're buying, what they're worried about, what their existing technology is, you can't. And if you've got 22 people that you have to know on each account, and if you've got 40 accounts that you're accountable for, humans can't do this. So we took the human sales brain, the best of the human sales brain, and put it in a platform so salespeople could do what they're really good at.
And is this a salesperson in any industry, or is there a specific like vertical you're focusing on?
So I haven't, and I got a lot of advice today at Possible to focus on verticals. It's a self-learning system. So
in theory, it could work really anywhere, right?
In theory, it can. The more complex the service offering and the more complex the purchasing, the better for us. We can make a bigger difference faster in complexity. So if you have one product and 10 customers, you don't need me. If you've got a product offering of 70 products
and 10,000 customers
and 10,000, and there's 22 people on the purchase. If you're a data center guy, there's 40 people involved in the purchase of a data center. Where those people came from, who they have relationships with, what their bias is.
Some are just influencers, some can derail it, like
Totally.
like the legal guy or the privacy guy or the InfoSec person, like they're not signing the check, but but if you piss them off, you're not, or you run afoul of them in any way, you're not going to win that deal.
Totally. And they're going to take great joy in derailing it at the end. So again, like people put, 16 months of effort into it on the buy and the sell side. And you don't even know who the guy is. He's working at home in Utah, and you're working at home in Chicago, and you've never met, and you never will meet because they don't come to the sales meetings so the buyers don't even know, and then they get bamboozled. So they're not getting what they need. And everybody is just putting so much wasted energy in the process.
What did you see today? I don't know how many sessions you got a chance to go to. I know you spent some time on site. Like anything you see jump out that you think is really interesting, that change your perspective, or that's maybe a cool trend that is coming this year? I mean, I was here all day, so I didn't go to a single session. So I'm actually very interested in hearing.
So I got really, really affirmed.
Okay.
I think I'm really on to something. I didn't bump into anybody who was doing what I'm doing. I didn't bump into anybody who said, oh, I don't need that. I didn't bump into anybody who's crushing quota, hitting their growth numbers, and everything's working. We have unbounded enthusiasm at these events, right? But it's like, okay, I have a widget and you have a thingy and I have a problem.
There's no shortage of enthusiasm. That's
no. It's unbounded. It's so loud in that lobby, I can barely hear.
I had a headache last year.
Yeah.
And I think for a couple of days, my hearing was slightly damaged. It was so loud. It was insane.
It's worse than the last concert I went to. Right?
Like something about the volume of people stuffed in that like bar area, but then like something about the ceiling, like echoes.
It does.
It's so freaking loud. Yeah, I remember it was terrible last year.
So I went to the AI sessions, obviously, because that's what I'm interested in. And
we get helicopters here. We don't get loud conference rooms.
Yeah. It's the guys coming home from their hedge fund, right? To their $20 million houses in Miami. Again, like the way that we're using the tools. I always try to solve the problem from a brand new lens and a brand new design. What we seem to be doing is taking crappy data or a crappy original structure and doing more of it in AI versus sitting back and saying, what is it really from a brand standpoint that we're trying to cause here? And to whom and how do we do that, right? We just seem to run to the next innovation. And I'm all about the pause. Like, stop. We have too much stuff.
Well, I think as an industry, I agree with that. We love our trendy, cool, newest, shiniest objects.
Yeah.
We chase after them incessantly. And every 6 months to a year, there is one, right? I mean, there's some new thing. And, maybe AI, even within AI, there's different, like, it'll be agentic AI, and that just really started at the end of last year with some of the LLM releases, right?
Yeah, the way that we're calling agentic AI now started, a couple of years ago. If you're my age, you've known about AI since before you started in your first year computer science class, and you worked in predictive analytics, and you worked in
Machine
data
learning, right?
and machine learning. And so, again, like here goes the marketing wagon of AI and agentic frameworks and, workflows and things like that. And we've been doing a lot of this stuff for a really, really long time.
Sometimes maybe some of the old things weren't wrong, right? And we like, and
Correct.
we shouldn't forget them. It's interesting too. So I actually was I don't want to say computer science dropout. My first year of college, I studied computer science. It's funny. I remember this is back when it was like COBOL, Fortran, Pascal, right?
That's what I did. Yeah.
And then I didn't love it. I'll be honest, right? Which is I liked coding just for fun, but I didn't like doing it for assignments, right? And then I was talking to my father about, he's a nuclear physicist. I remember he was saying how COBOL is such a great language, because this is pre-object based languages, right?
Yeah.
He was saying how he has programs that he wrote in the 60s, mid to late 60s, that he runs in the detectors for particle accelerators that work better than the stuff they have. I thought that was wild.
Yeah, no, and it's true, right? So I started in the same environment that you did. My first company I'm Canadian. The first company was an object-oriented database, and we sold it to the Americans, and I end up in the States because my colleagues don't want to come. And then we regressed to SQL. And it's like, why are we going backwards? And now we're just finally really into object-oriented databases. This was 1986, right? We have these texts, and then we go running around in the new VC funded shiny thing that has lots of marketing. And we don't ask ourselves, is this worth it? Is this the best thing? Is this the tool I need? And I'm a little bit worried. I'm writing, some stuff on AI governance at the enterprise level and things. It feels a little bit like we put nuclear bombs in children's lunch pails, right? We don't let people build bridges without a certain degree of education certification. We don't let pilots
learn the hard way, right? Like
or we do, yeah. They collapse.
That one with the bridge? It was, I think it was in Washington State or something like that, right?
Yeah. Or the boat hits it and everything collapses. We don't let people fly airplanes, whether they're gas or electric, because
without the proper training certification.
Without the proper training. Sure. Why are we letting people with no training write in large language modules and pretend they understand data and pretend that they understand the needs of the enterprise? It's dangerous.
I think, look, getting back to sales, I think that, and I wrote this article about this, published the end of last week, about like this, how I call the IRL, the in real life rebellion, how like the whole, what made me think about this was, I remember I was doing a stint as head of commercial for a software company last summer, and we sent out thousands of emails to a really good list. We had thousands of opens, not a single click. And first I thought, okay, the email's broken. Like the links are broken, something's wrong. Having worked in email marketing for years, I would joke I'd probably sign insertion orders for billions of emails going out back in the day, because a lot of early media was email.
Yeah.
I realized that. So I knew a lot about email marketing, maybe not as much as you, but I knew a lot about it. And I remember thinking, it's just something's broken, right? But then we did all the testing, it wasn't. And I realized the way people interact with brands, work with companies, make decisions of what software they're going to buy, and which companies they want to work with, has totally changed.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that this means that where the rubber meets the road is, marketing has to change. And I think that's going to be maybe more pull than push, but also salespeople become more important. If
I agree.
People are tuning out, you better have a good sales team, right?
Yeah.
With the right tools.
For sure. And when the salesperson actually gets that meeting or that nanosecond, I literally gave an elevator pitch coming down the building today.
In an elevator.
I
love it.
That I waited for forever. It was like my first real elevator pitch. The guy goes, "What do you do?" And I said, I have.
Funny you asked, right?
Yeah. And he's like, "I need that." He's like, "I got an ICP of 1,000 and things like that." I'm like, "Fantastic. How do I get in touch with you?" "Oh, take a picture of my LinkedIn profile." Boom. Connect with the guy. Done. Between floor 30 and ground.
I love it.
People want to talk to people about their business problems. They want to look you in the eye and know that they can fix it.
And you could have sent this guy 50 multi-touch emails.
Totally.
You could have like lit him up on Facebook
Yep.
with the same audience. You could have and he wouldn't have cared.
No.
Right? Would have tuned it out probably.
Completely.
Wild.
Completely. So yes, I think salespeople are critical. I want to be the champion for the quota carrying salesperson, account manager. We fire them, we ruin their careers. They have
we put up with them, but without them, we wouldn't have any revenue.
Totally.
Right?
Totally.
That's funny. Well, this has been a really cool conversation. I'm glad we got to have you appear in the pod, and glad I got to hang out with you and get to know you this time. And we would love to have you back for a longer form discussion on signal and noise at a time soon.
I would love to do that with you.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you.